all right, weird tube and throat singing. I've heard of it before.
What?
And they're like, oh yeah, do that. I was like, all right. So through doing a little tube and throat singing and fucking playing the didgeridoo, the hippiest fucking shit.
Portland shit
It's
I've ever heard.
I know. I was
life.
like, oh my God, a fool Portland.
I'm sorry. You're curing your sleep apnea. Are you playing a didgeridoo while you're sleeping?
Welcome to Get Heavy Podcast. Your host, Craig Casamas and Big J Curran.
Tony Lopez, cheers. I love you to fucking death, dude.
It's a good friendship.
One of my best friends on earth.
Yeah. Oh, man.
There's very few people that you meet that you really want to fucking hold on to. Yeah. And you're one of those, and I love you to death.
Appreciate it. Yeah. I mean, likewise, there's few people there that you can count on,
right?
And I feel like you've always been there for anything that I've ever needed, whatever, like, and then some. Even when I've like didn't realize I needed shit, like, oh damn, Craig was on that shit. It's fucking crazy. It's a solid dude right there.
Yeah, I love you, man. Like, cheers.
I love you, buddy.
Let's do this. Wild fucking. It
hurts a little bit.
Damn.
I know the guy at the liquor store doesn't know shit.
That motherfucker lied,
He's
dude.
a dick.
I mean, it's obviously good whiskey, but motherfucker, dude.
I know he tried to sell me some shit that was ship aged. And I was like, what? And he's like, oh yeah, they put these barrels in this big ship and then they fucking go around the world and blah blah. I was like,
I'm not paying for the travel, am I?
You're fucking stupid.
No, this shit is like seriously good whiskey, but
it is.
I've never had real casket strength, like cast strength. Holy fucking shit!
It is casket strength. Jesus Christ!
Like, we'll be dead by the end of this thing, dude. Yeah. But dude, I'm so excited to have you on, man.
Oh yeah, thanks.
We've been talking about it. You live in Portland. You know, like I said, we met when I was in my early 20s. You know, the second I met you, we fucking totally clicked in a weird way. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if you remember, like when we kind of first met and started hanging out.
I don't know if I remember the very first time we met, but I do remember when I was like, this dude's my friend. And we were at the Ventura County Fair and you were walking, I think you were probably with Barks and God knows who else, Matt Barks and probably Chris and like that crew that you had.
Right.
And I was like, oh, Craig, that guy. Oh yeah, I just met that dude. And we hugged and started talking. And like that day, I was like, we're fucking friends.
Yeah, we're friends.
This is going to be a thing.
Yeah. So I remember like that was like the initiate, like, first of all, full disclosure, I couldn't tell you and Kenji apart. I was like,
nobody
pretty sure you weren't Kenji, but I wasn't like completely sure. Right.
You know,
and I love Kenji to death and he's fucking amazing. But what I would see you, and there was also another Tony Lopez.
There was, right? Everybody kind of hated a little bit.
Yeah. So
there was a couple times
you would hear the name and then you go, like garbage fire.
Yeah.
But then you know, so I remember meeting you for the first time. And then me and you, like, as adults, were like, let's hang out. Like, who makes friends as adults?
Yeah,
which is weird. You know what I mean? And I went to your house, which I don't know where the fuck you might have been living with your mom at the time.
It must have been
with your mom.
On Jacinto.
And me and you sat down and we watched. You're a massive horror movie fan. You always have been, and you got me into some fucking epic shit. Yeah. But I think we watched. What's the Peter Jackson film? Brain.
Dead Alive.
Dead Alive. Me and you sat down and got fucking high as a kite and watched Dead Alive, dude. Great. And like from that point on, I was like, this is a guy I need in my life.
Yeah, I remember too. You're like, I don't smoke weed, man. I was like, oh, that's cool, man. You know, it's a little doobage. You'd be all right.
Yeah.
Like,
and you sent me into fucking outer space, dude. You and Dr. Nick. Dr. Nick was the first human I ever smoked pot with.
Yeah, I was jealous of that. I was like, because I remember we met and you're like, no, I don't smoke weed.
Yeah.
And then Dr. Nick was like, oh, I got that guy high as fuck.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, my 21st birthday, Dr. Nick got me high.
Yeah.
And then we
met and then moved in and like, oh, hey.
Essentially.
We should probably just
and so together. For full disclosure, you guys may not know, Tony Lopez is a, Ventura, Oxnard fucking dude, been around for a million years. Always an incredible dude. He moved out of the state. It's almost 15.
Yeah, 2005.
2005, right? Which I will have to apologize formally for, like, pretty soon. about me bailing on you.
No, it's all good.
But it was so random because we met and we were like, immediately we're like, well, let's get a fucking pad.
Yeah, just connected. And I go, hey, look, I need to move out. And he's like, yeah, I'm looking to move out too. My fucking mom's driving me crazy and blah, 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 and this and that. And I was like, we need a fucking cool place. Like, you know what? You're cool enough to live with, man. Let's just fucking do this.
Right. And also we lived in a garage.
Yes.
We split a whole garage together
for $300 a month.
$300 a month. And we like literally split the garage down the middle. You had your fucking area with the couch and the fucking every horror movie on earth. Man, we had our 2 beds in the room and we lived at what was at the time called the Moon Tower. Right?
Oh yeah, that's right.
It was a house of like 9 fucking people.
Wasn't it more than that?
I think the max was 9
because it was 4. Oh yeah, maybe 4 bedrooms, and then 3 dudes lived in like 1 bed.
The master. Yeah, it was Seth, Trevor, and Ryan.
Yeah.
So Seth from Sweet Reaper, Trevor Beld, who's an incredible musician, and Ryan, who's off the map now, but also they were in a band called Monroe.
Oh yeah, that's right, Monroe. Yeah.
And then there was Justin Titsworth and his girlfriend,
old Titsworth.
Old Titsworth, dude. And then Kelly, and then fucking
Ryan. Oh no.
Chris Larson.
Yeah, Chris Larson.
So it was like me and you were like 2 like punk rock metalheads living with like a bunch of emo
like emo kids. Yeah, that was
like
so
literal
weird.
emo
like,
kids. Like and we moved into that fucking garage together and somehow fucking made it work.
Yeah, it was awesome. I remember Kelly hit me up because she was living in that house with them, and she was coming into Salzer's at the video store that I worked at. And she's like, hey, she's like, I mentioned, I was like, oh yeah, Craig and I are like looking for a place to live. Right. So if you need, if you know anything, she's like, well, yeah, you can rent our garage. She's like, a garage? Ooh, well, it could work. She's like, well, $300 a month. I was like, oh
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, totally.
Each, dude.
Done. Yeah, that's because man, 100%. Even back then, shit was crazy here.
Yeah,
but I was like, yeah, cool, done. And then I remember we went to go buy carpet because it was just shitty concrete. Like, hey, we need something.
Right.
And the carpet place is like, it's real expensive, but you can go raid our dumpster over in the like the field.
Which
like,
we did.
Which are all right, cool. Yeah. Like padding and fucking 3 kinds of
the
carpet.
Deal,
like,
just
pull it right out of the dumpster.
But dude, we had the best fucking deal because it was literally a garage. You guys can't see it, but it's as big as mine.
Yeah, it's
and
huge.
we had the whole fucking thing to ourselves.
Yeah, and nobody cared. And it was detached from the house, dude. So it was it was awesome. Yeah, that was.
But like, I didn't go to college, and neither did you really.
No.
That was essentially like our college days. Like we literally shared a dorm.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Oh,
I mean, chicks, it was like, the whole door, the fucking sock system.
It was definitely a rotating door.
How many times I came home to that fucking place and I'd see a sock on the door and be like, fuck.
All I want to do is sleep.
I'm sleeping on the couch in the fucking living room. God damn it. Or you would do this. You know what I mean?
Like, yeah, the vice versa. Like, whoa, this is. Oh, all right. Got some. Go sleep somewhere else tonight, huh?
It was rough.
That's how it is.
But the Moon Tower days was insane.
It was so much fun.
It really was.
That was a blast. I mean, I feel like those were definitely the college days. A lot of drinking, excessive drinking,
wild drinking,
and partying, and then suddenly there was weird drugs there. Like, I guess we're doing weird drugs tonight, or whatever. 100%. Cool.
Yeah, emo kids party apparently.
Yeah, hard.
They partied hard, and they also can't handle their booze.
No, not even a little bit.
Like the amount of times that we me and you had to save people's lives at that fucking house was weird. Dude. There'd be I don't know, 100 fucking people at that house. You know what I mean? And then 6 of them are crying, and you're like,
yeah, what's
going on right
everybody's sad now?
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. I've got video that actually I need to have switched over to digital.
Oh, okay.
But there's
because you were always recording shit on your you always had a camcorder.
So much fun. God, I should do that more, but I don't.
100%. Yeah.
But we were all drinking, and it was like you were in the hall and you were like yelling at someone, and you fucking pulled this tack out of the wall. Like, I'm gonna fucking stab him in the heart. Oh my God.
I stabbed someone with a tack,
grabbing you, and you're like fucking stabbing the shit. I don't even remember who
was I gonna stab.
I don't remember, but
I remember trying to stab someone with a tack.
Really trying hard to stab the fucking ass, dude.
Yeah, it was probably one of our housemates.
It probably was because we were always fighting about dumb shit. I mean, we always fought in that house,
dude. The dishes. The fucking dish. Dude, when you live with 9 people and like half of them pull their weight and the other half do not.
Oh my God.
It becomes such a fucking nightmare.
I think I threw away 3 sets of dishes.
100%.
We're just like going to wrap this up on a sheet and just trash done.
Yeah. I would go to the kitchen to like cook something, and there would be a whole, I mean, literally
mountain.
There was a sink of dishes and then 3 more sinks of dishes.
Yeah, just piled up
on the fucking thing. Yeah, you know what I mean? No one's
dish rack had
house.
dirty dishes in it. Like, oh wait, that's for the clean shit. Okay.
There's food stuck to the fucking dishes. Oh, dude. It was such a fucking nightmare, man.
But at like 20, you didn't give a fuck. Like, fuck it, I'll just work around.
Because you're a couple years older than me, right?
Yeah,
2 years older.
2 years,
right?
Yeah.
So you're 42 right now.
Yeah, 42 now.
And I'm gonna be 40 this year. So yeah, a couple years older. And you had you ever lived out on your own?
No, that was
the first time you moved out on your own as well. Yeah, dude. So we got to do some epic shit together.
Yeah, we did some really cool shit together. Remember when I had that shitty little scooter too? Oh my god, that was fun till it broke. But yeah, good times. Yeah,
just Vesping your ass around.
Yeah. Oh man,
it was amazing.
Yeah,
yeah. The Mandrill house was awesome until the neighbors started hating us, and then there would be like parties of 100 people. Yeah. I remember the cops coming. Remember that the cops came that one night and said they're like, you got like 15 minutes. I think
it was the
party.
Fire department that was here.
It was the fire department.
Yeah. Well, when you and I moved into that place, I go, first of all, I go, look, we don't want to live in a party house. We don't really party.
Right.
That's not our scene.
And we really didn't party.
And we didn't. Yeah. And then like the second night we moved in, there was 100 people.
100 plus. People.
More. Yeah.
And literally people was like, party at the moon tower.
Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? There were so many people in that house. When I opened the sliding door, I couldn't get in. I was like,
right. We had to weave our way.
Close that door and go around to the front door, I guess. I don't fucking know. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we could get in through the side yard. And then luckily the garage was like the stoner zone.
Yeah. It was like, all right, cool.
All the cool people we could deal with would be in our
Yeah, it was a little spot. Like, look, there's one little couch there. There's you can just close the fucking door.
Here,
close the door. Yeah.
But I remember the fire department showing up and being like, hey, if we have to come back, it's like a $500 fine. I was like, you know what? I'll end this party real quick. And I went to the fucking dungeon that we lived in. I grabbed an axe and I fucking proceeded to kick like 100 people out of a house with an axe. You know what I mean? Everyone's like, I'm like, this party's fucking over. And everyone's all, I'm dead fucking serious. Yes. I'm going to start swinging. And if I hit someone, it's your own fault. You know what I mean?
Oh, man.
It was crazy, dude. Yeah. And then after that, the moon tower ends in a fucking blazing glory, of course.
Yeah. Oh, God. Terrible.
We moved to Montalvo.
Yeah. And that was another like big ass. It was like a 5-bedroom apartment.
5-bedroom apartment.
And every room had 2 people.
Yeah. There was also 9 people living there.
Yeah. And then Dustin lived in the kitchen for a little while.
That's right. Yeah. We had a guy living in the kitchen.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Yeah. It was wild. Dude.
That was a wild time. That was a lot of fun. We had a lot of fun. We had a lot of parties in that house too, pissing off all the neighbors.
All the neighbors.
Except that all of our neighbors at that point were all like gangsters or immigrants. So nobody was calling the police.
No.
Police never got called there.
No.
So it was kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, but also the day that we moved in, right? Because I think me and you were the ones that found the apartment.
Yeah.
The day we move in,
I remember that I had that little blue truck.
Right, you had a little blue truck, and we were I think we were trying to shove a couch or a futon into the place.
Yeah, like kind of shimming that in.
Were you inside? You were inside, or were you outside?
Pulling it out of the truck, and then
is that what it was?
Out of nowhere, these cops come down this alley, and we just hit this. Like, what the fuck is going? Oh shit, cops! And
straight shotguns.
We kind of like moved to the side of the truck. And shotguns and riot gear. I'm like, what the fuck? And they run straight across the street and kick that fucking door in. And homies like crawling out of the window. They raided
a house the day we're moving in.
And I was like, an apartment. Crawling out of the window. I'm like, what is happening? Like, full on.
We watched a dude jump out of his own window and run.
Yeah.
And the cops were like, did you see him or all? I didn't see shit.
I didn't see I'm moving this couch. I don't know.
Yeah. So we talk about the Monta days like every once in a while on the podcast. You know? And like people don't understand how insane that fucking time was. At one time, there was 7 apartments of our friends living in that
all down that block.
In that one fucking block. Man, and I think you had towards the end you moved.
I think I moved out somewhere.
Yeah, but it got insane. Like it got fucking nuts. You could literally every weekend walk from apartment to apartment to apartment,
and they were all parties.
Everyone was fucking partying. Yeah, and then the homies in the neighborhood were tripping. Like they were tripping out.
They were actually kind of scared of us.
Because we were too many. We had too many fucking people. You know, like we were literally a 50 strong gang at that point.
There was like always people around too.
No rules, dude.
Always people at that house. So they couldn't fuck with us at all because there was always somebody there.
Yeah, 100%. It was a wild time. And I'm so stoked that I got to spend that time with you, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah, likewise. I wouldn't change a thing if I can go back and do it all over again.
Yeah. Except for the testicular cancer.
Well, that part sucks. That part sucks.
Yeah. So me and Tony lived together for many years, probably 3-4 years. I don't know what it was. And literally, when I say live together, same room.
Oh yeah.
Me and Tony shared an actual room. And at one point we shared a futon.
Oh yeah.
For a minute.
For a hot minute.
Like for a hot minute until we had 2 beds.
Yeah,
me and Tony would literally actually sleep together. You know, and then
I think that's when we moved into like the Hummingbird house.
Right.
Because we was like,
remember we got kicked out of the garage.
Yeah.
And then we had to sleep in the living room at the Moon Tower.
Yeah.
So I think we're sharing a bed at that point.
Yeah, we were sharing that.
And that was like the end days. And then we found the other place. And then of course we moved into the same fucking room because we couldn't afford more than $150 a month.
Yeah, because that place was like $1,500. Like, okay,
for
so
5
split
bedrooms.
5 ways. That's $500. That's too. I can't afford $500 a month.
Right.
Jesus. So we had to share it.
It was like $250 each.
Yeah.
It was amazing, dude.
Oh man, that was great.
And one of the like weirdest memories is, and I don't know if you remember this at all, but it was Christmas morning, and it was literally like, my mom is a psycho about Christmas. She wanted me to show up at like 7 a.m. for Christmas, right? And me and you got fucking hammered on Christmas Eve. We're sleeping in, right? And Tony had the absolute fucking luxury of sleeping under the window.
Oh,
do you remember this? Do you remember when my mom came and showed up at the house?
Oh, vaguely.
So like 7:45, all of a sudden Tony wakes up to water coming in through the window on him.
Shit.
Do you remember this at all?
I remember that now.
And my mom, I fucking, and he's like, what the fuck? Like there's water spraying through our, and we lived on the second story.
Yeah.
There's water spraying through our window onto Tony. And I jump up and I immediately know what it is. It's my mom. My mom is there pissed that I'm not showing up at fucking Christmas.
Dude, early.
At 7 a.m. Right?
Early as fuck.
And Tony goes, fucking your mom. And he looks out the window. He goes, your fucking mom spraying the fucking window with the hose.
There was a hose out front. I don't even know where the hose came from.
I'm pretty sure she brought her own hose, dude.
Shit. He's like, we didn't water the fucking lawn.
No, we're not watering lawns, dude. But she was spraying our fucking window with the hose. I
remember that.
And that was how she woke me up.
Soaked. I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like, oh my
and then you just like take it. You know what I mean?
Well, your mom's pissed, man. You better go downstairs, bud.
I better know how to handle it.
Yeah, because I'm fucking soaked. I don't know.
Yeah.
Oh man, God.
But it was wild, dude. Those were fucking wild ass times.
It was good times. I remember too. You were like, hey, we were just talking about weird sleeping habits. And like, you do this weird thing where you like kick my bed in your sleep or whatever. I was like, oh,
you kicked my bed?
Yeah. And I was like,
oh, really?
No, you snore like a fucking wild animal, and I fucking couldn't sleep. So I would fucking karate kick your bed super hard. And you would wake up and I just like go back to bed.
Yeah. Go full Chuck Norris on my yeah. Which also Rosie does that to me now. Like, sure, I'll wake up and she'll be like shoving me. Well, I don't do it so much now because I'm not as fat as I was, but when I'm like my fattest, dude, sleep apnea is bad. Like,
dude, yeah, I got it too.
You sound like you're dying.
Yeah,
like I'm just accepting that you might not make it through every single night of sleep. For 17 years, she's been living with this, dude.
Yeah, dude, that sleep apnea is real. I've been dealing with that too, and Amy's been like getting pissed about it. They're like it's gotten a little bit better, but for a while there was like, I'm just gonna sleep on the couch because you wake me up 3 times a night. Right. And you can't sleep and I can't sleep.
And then I'm waking up mad because you woke me up, even though I'm ruining your night.
Yeah. So I started curbing it a little bit by playing the didgeridoo, which is fucking stupid. I bought this tiny little didgeridoo. It's called a Digbox.
Okay.
And like, so I went to a doctor and I was like, hey, look, I got sleep apnea. And I did the whole rigmarole with the test. And they sent me home with the test and you hook up your fingers and the fucking whole pads and everything. And they're like, oh yeah, you got mild sleep apnea, whatever, blah, blah, blah. You need a CPAP. I'm like, okay, well, how much is the fucking CPAP? Like, well, you got to talk to your insurance because we can't tell you. I was like, you fucking sell the thing. You can't tell me how much this costs.
Huh?
Like, well, you got to sort it out with your insurance because, that varies. I'm like, oh, what the fuck ever. Right. So I call insurance and they're like, well, which machine you're getting and what hose you're getting. Well, I was like, I don't fucking know. I'm just trying to figure out what I'm going to pay with this because they're telling me before I can even get it, it's $650 and then 20%. I'm like, 20% of what?
Right.
And like, well, blah, blah. So
$175,000.
Yeah, basically. I was like, okay, fuck off. What's my other option? I go, well, there's an oral device. I'm like, but that's $3,500 and insurance doesn't cover it. Oh, cool. So I started just doing some research on like, how do you stop snoring? Like how to blah, blah, blah. And I came across this video and this dude's like, oh yeah, I curbed my sleep apnea with the didgeridoo because you use these like weird muscles in your throat to play it because you're just like blubbering into it kind of. So it's just like this. It's like, all right. And then they were talking about Tuvan throat singing. I was like, what the fuck is Tuvan? And I'd heard of it before because we worked at music stores here and there.
Yeah.
Like, all right, weird Tuvan throat singing. I've heard of it before.
What?
And they're like, oh yeah, do that. I was like, all right. So through doing a little Tuvan throat singing and fucking playing the didgeridoo, the hippiest fucking shit.
Portland shit
It's
I've ever heard.
I know. I was like, oh my god, I'm full Portland.
I'm sorry. You're curing your sleep apnea. Are you playing a didgeridoo while you're sleeping?
No. You play it a couple times a day.
Or you just learn like a breathing technique.
Yeah, it's like
that's what it is.
Yeah, and it's like the playing activates like these muscles in your throat. Like so, and then like the Tuvan throat singing does the same thing. It's like, I don't know. I'm gonna fuck it up.
Well, because to play a didgeridoo, you have to learn how to breathe through your nose while you're breathing.
Yeah,
out.
you got to
like
do
circular breathing, right?
Which is hard as.
Yeah, it's really
fucking.
I can't do it to this day.
Slowly getting it, but it's hard. But Amy says it's been working. It's been like it's been less. Like the snoring has not been so much that she has to wake me up in the middle of the night.
Right.
And I don't feel like I'm suffocating. Like before, I would wake myself up.
Oh yeah, that's the worst.
Oh god damn it! I was choking on my own throat. So I feel like I'm not doing that anymore. So that's pretty good
because of fucking didgeridoo.
Yeah, it's Portland shit. And then like, I wonder if I can do it here. Maybe back up.
Let's hear
it. Of course I can't do it now.
Please try, dude.
Now I can't do it because people are watching me.
Oh my god,
dude. Oh, I can't do it now.
Damn, dude.
But yeah.
And this is why I love Tony Lopez. He's the only human. Now you're in the range, dude. Now you're in the range. Oh shit. You're getting it.
It takes practice. But once you start doing it,
you're like a straight Mongolian.
It works,
dude.
Yeah. And I was like, I had to look up like Mongolian Tuvan throat singing, and there's fucking people. There was this dude that was fucking killing it. I was like, "Whoa, you whistle and do that?"
And that's how you play a didgeridoo at the same time.
No, you do didgeridoo totally different. It's like a weird like.
Oh my god! Your wife deserves so many medals.
She's a fucking champion because
you're out here playing a saxophone, which is the worst instrument on earth. I'm so adamantly. I don't know if you've heard me on this podcast. I fucking hate saxophones, dude.
Oh, really?
I hate them. Oh, I hate them, dude. You know how mad I would be at you right now if we were living in the same room and you fucking
just like, hey,
pull out a fucking saxophone.
Sax.
Oh, I hate it, dude. And that's what I love about you. It's like,
man, yeah.
Me and you, like, there's so many things that we both do. We're like, what? Why are you doing that? You know? But saxophone.
It's fun.
Is it?
No, it's hard as fuck.
It's so
the hardest.
hard. Yeah.
It's the hardest thing.
I'm sure it's hard as shit.
Done. It's crazy,
but it's also the worst instrument.
It's if you play it well, that's. I love it. I feel like most of the best songs in the world have saxophone in it.
Which ones?
There's
name one good song with saxophone in it.
Oh god, I've had to name a song now. I don't know. There's
zero. There's zero songs. Dude. Zero songs with good saxophones in it, dude.
There's tons.
I'm sure there is. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got a weird wild hair up my ass. Like, I want to play an instrument.
And you never played saxophone before?
Never. No, never. And I do okay. I mean, I feel like
I know you. I watch you play, and you're getting it.
Yeah.
But
reading music is
but it's also Portland.
Yeah, it's also.
You're out here fucking throwing down the didgeridoo. They probably hear the saxophone. They're like, "Oh my god!"
Oh, thank God.
At least it's not that thing.
At least it's not the didgeridoo.
You might as well get a rain stick, dude.
I have one.
I'm sure you do. I don't. It's like when you move to Portland, like, are you given a rain stick?
Yeah, it's you're handed like Birkenstocks and a fucking rain stick, and like, oh, welcome to Portland. Like,
and they're like, well, we know you can't grow
a poncho.
Beard. Yeah, would you like a poncho? And some also white privilege. You know
and a little bit of that too.
Yeah, totally.
You're not white, that's cool, but we'll extend you some.
Yeah. So I would like to formally apologize for bailing on you.
Oh,
right. So here's how the story goes. Me and Tony lived at the Hummingbird House. This was before my old band, the fucking Wrath, had really got together. We had talked endlessly about moving to the Pacific Northwest.
Oh yeah.
Right. We were all me and
everybody did. We went on that tour. That's
what it was.
Ox tour. And everybody was, we loved it. We went to Seattle and Portland.
Yeah.
And
we all wanted to bail. Yeah. Right. And we were gonna do it. I mean, literally, you did it.
Oh yeah.
And I bailed on you, and I formally apologize, and I'm sorry, and I love you to death. And you've created an awesome life for yourself up there.
Yeah, it's
probably a life that I would have held you back from at this point. You know what I mean? But I met my future wife. I started a band that I loved.
Yeah.
And things happened.
It was all for the good, really. I mean, I think I was pissed at it.
And you had just beat cancer.
Yeah.
On top of that.
Yeah.
Right.
And and there was a whole bunch going on in my life at that time. I was like, you know what? I need to get the fuck out of here, and I can't be here anymore. I can't do it. And then and everybody bailed, because I remember it was like 2 or 3 months beforehand. I was like, all right, you guys, I've got this much money saved, blah blah blah. Like, I think I can find us a place. And Matt's like, oh man, I'm going back to school. I was like,
right,
what the fuck? We just talked about this like 2 weeks ago.
Right.
And then you were like, well, I just started a new band. I'm like, what the fuck? Everybody just, oh, all right, well, you know what? I'm going anyway.
Right.
I'm not fucking staying.
You needed it.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Like there was just a lot in my life that.
Well, we were drinking a lot. Things, and you guys don't know this about Tony, but he gets wild, dude. The amount of time. Well, first of all, I get wild too.
Yeah.
But you used to.
Yeah.
The amount of times I've grabbed a rock out of your hand because you're going to break a car window.
Or people pulling me out of bushes.
Yeah, out of bushes. We were living wild.
Dude, I remember waking
up. We all needed a legit change at that
in
point.
A dumpster one time. Like, it's like a construction dumpster. And it was like, I looked in, I was like, there's not trash in there. It's just like fucking rocks and fucking 2x4s. That's cool. And
that's
just
a good
fucking
spot, dude.
Yeah. And then I remember waking up, it's like, someone's going to hit me with something if I don't get out of here.
Yeah, they're going to dump a pile of trash.
Yeah, somebody's going to dump a pile of trash on me. So I crawled out of there, and then I went over to Buck and Fletcher's place, and I like showed up there hammered still.
Right.
Like, oh, hey, those red shoes. I remember seeing those shoes in the bushes like an hour ago, and someone was like, "Oh my god!" They go, "What?" They go, "Oh yeah,
you're the guy attached to."
I was like, "Oh yeah, that was me." Yeah, I found a better place to sleep for a little while. Slept it off. Like, where's the booze?
Yeah, we were living wild.
Man, it was crazy.
It was nuts, But you ended up
surprised I didn't get arrested. I'm really.
I did a lot of us are. We should have been arrested a million.
Oh my god, so many things I did.
The amount of fucking, like I said, I pulled rocks, bricks, fucking sticks, everything. Tony had a tendency of wanting to beat shit up. You know what I mean? Like when he was drunk. And this is years ago. I would assume you're not like that now.
No,
right?
I hardly drink it anymore. Like that shot's the most I've had in like months.
Right. But you are also one of the only fucking people that bailed and hasn't come back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Which is pretty wild, dude. Like, because most people at this point, that everyone that bailed up north at this point has come back.
There's a few of us that, like Michelle Dixon, she's still up there.
Right. Yeah.
And there's a couple of us. Summer's still up there, and Allison.
Right.
There's a few, but yeah, pretty much everybody left.
A lot of people leave Ventura and they come back because it is a fucking black hole.
Yeah. And I almost did once or twice. I was like, no, I can't do it. And honestly, rent was just 100% cheaper up there too.
Right.
I mean, everything was.
I'm sure now it's not. Though,
no, it's the same now. Everything's fucked up there now. It's totally. It's insane.
And you've been up there long enough to where you are literally like a Portlander. Like at this point, right? Fully. You got your tenure at this point.
Oh yeah, dude. I got my bus pass. I got my fucking Birkenstocks. I got my
you didgeridoo.
Right. I cut my dreads out recently, so you know.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, totally. Yeah. So it's awesome that, and I mean, he met a fucking incredible woman. Yeah, Amy is amazing. Your wife is amazing. Awesome.
Yeah, I would fucking be lost without her.
100%. Dude. The second I saw your wife, I was like, this bitch will keep him in line. And that's exactly.
And 100%. Yeah. Like, I honestly don't know what I would be doing if it wasn't for her right now. I would be living probably in some shitty apartment
in a trash can.
Yeah, in a trash can still. Probably still drunk. Probably
100%.
God damn.
And that's a cool thing. Is like when you meet a chick, and I met my future wife at that time, like when you were ready to move, and there was something that was like so special about her. I was like, this chick's worth like hanging around for.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And like when you met Amy, I was like, and we met, you know what I mean? And I was like lucky enough to literally like preside your wedding, which is awesome. You know what I mean? And I still wish I would have done a way better job now that I've done a couple. I'm like, fuck, man, I should have.
I know I look back at the whole thing. I was like, oh, I should have done this and I should have done that.
We always think that,
whatever. Yeah.
But
who cares?
Yeah, when I met Amy, I was like, oh yeah, she's a fucking ride or die, dude.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
You got a ride or die wife.
Yeah.
And I do too. And it's very fucking rare these days.
It really is. It's like, because I had a lot of girlfriends way back when, and was like, oh yeah, this chick's awesome, blah blah blah. And then after like, I don't know, year plus, like I fucking can't handle this person anymore. I can't fucking do it. And like I feel like I've never felt that way about Amy. Every time I'm like, I better not fuck this up, because Amy's gonna fucking split, and like she can find a better dude any day of the week.
Right.
Nope. Yeah.
And that's how I feel all the time. It's like, I don't know what if Rosie wises up at some point and like starts dating some rich like black lesbian chick. Like I'm in trouble, dude. Like, what am I gonna do?
Yeah, nothing.
I have to raise these little shits by myself.
Yeah, right. Done.
Like, what the fuck? It's insane. But I'm glad everything fucking worked out.
Yeah.
And it's awesome.
Yeah. So yeah, same here. I'm pretty stoked about life. It's
and you're just down here visiting. Obviously, it's America's fucking birthday right now.
Yes,
you know what I mean? We're down here for 4th of July. We're
happy America.
Happy America, dude.
It was my brother's 40th today, so shout out to Alan Lopez. He was he had a great day yesterday, so that was pretty cool.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Isn't it weird having like adult ass siblings at
it's
this point?
Weird. Yeah, being 40 is strange, and then I don't know, you get to a certain point and go, oh yeah, I can't do that anymore.
Right.
Or just like I shouldn't, I don't know, just like partying or like doing certain things, like I don't do that shit anymore. Like I get it now. I would like ask my older cousins to come hang out and do this, and be like, oh man, I don't do that shit.
Right.
Like, oh, whatever, you guys suck.
Yeah.
And now that I'm like older, I'm like, oh yeah,
I totally get it.
You don't have the energy for that, and like your fucking knee hurts and your fucking back hurts, and like you got to work tomorrow. Like you actually have to work tomorrow. Not like just call in sick, no big deal. Like no, I got to fucking be there. People can be pissed.
If I call in sick, I get fired. Yeah, that's how it goes. And your brother, being a carpenter.
Like, oh yeah.
You don't. There's very little room for fucking around.
Yeah, he does.
You have to show up and do the job every fucking day.
He definitely has a no fuck around job.
Right. Yeah, and I do too. You know what I mean? Well, I did. Now I have a fuck around job.
Well,
but
yeah.
I earned it.
Sure.
I earned my fuck around job.
100%.
But yeah, it's a weird world, man. But I did want to ask. You've been in Portland a long fucking time. You went through all that. Like me and you talked a handful of times, like when the BLM protests were going on, they were taking over parts of the city, and you're hearing horror fucking stories about what's going on in Portland. And you're always the first to be like, dude, it's like a fucking block radius of chaos. Everything else in the city is fine. Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you're like, it's normal here, except for the fucking one block of morons. That are doing
the news really blew it up. And it was like 2 blocks of downtown where the federal building was. And that shit was crazy. When you went down there, it was fucking chaos. And it looked like a riot all the time. And there was camps out there in front of the building, and like giant barricades in front of the building, and people fucking constantly throwing rocks and fireworks and all kinds of shit. So those 2 blocks were fucked up and scary. But that was it. Like, we live across the river from that, and I didn't notice any of it until I had to cross the river for work.
Right. Until you had to go into the area.
Yeah, until I had to go into that area. Right. And even then I could avoid it. And most people could avoid that area.
Right.
Unless you work or live right there, you could totally avoid that space.
Yeah. But it's asinine behavior, and it's obviously it's done for the right reasons.
Yeah.
But it's not done by fucking people that were the wild part is like the BLM protests, which are absolutely justified.
Yeah.
Like, in my mind, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of fucking fucked up shit that happens.
Yeah.
But the rioting and all that shit was done by entitled white little shitheads.
It really was, though. A lot of people came from out of town.
How many fucking black youth did you see destroying shit?
Not many.
Very little.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it was all entitled little rich fucking white kids.
And honestly, there's a lot of cowardice in that too, because those fuckers wouldn't show up until nighttime. Like, in the day, it's regular protesters, people that would march,
people that actually give a shit.
Yeah, people actually give a shit, and they would have their signs and they would march and protest and whatever.
Right.
And then once it got later, they would leave because all these Antifa fuckers and people literally from out of state would come in, and suddenly they've got black masks and you can't see them, and they've got riot gear, and then suddenly they're throwing fire bombs and really starting shit. And it's like, dude, it just seemed unnecessary to take it that far.
Well, and then like, what's the point?
And then it's like, what are you really doing at that point? If you're that pissed, join the fucking council or run for office or do something that's actually gonna make a difference. Like, you yelling and screaming at
like
someone,
work on community building.
Yeah,
there's a million things you could do.
Yeah, and it's like the yelling and screaming and firebombing isn't really helping.
No,
like if you're just making shit look bad and you're just like making.
Well, and then the media, we saw how the media spun it. Because as far as everyone's concerned right now, Portland is a nightmare.
Yeah.
It's a fucking weirdo, woke fucking culture nightmare. But you lived there for a million years. And it's like, I always ask you, like, I'm like, what's going on? You're like, it's fucking normal, dude. Like, we're just going to work. We're doing everything, and I know that they decriminalize all, like, not all drugs.
Oh, everything.
All drugs.
Yeah.
Right. So they decriminalize, which,
as far as I know, everything.
Like, in theory, I'm for, right? Like, if they can work on focusing that money for rehabilitation and all these things. But the reality, and it's kind of what we were talking about before, is like, it's not working.
It's really not.
Right.
And I was all for it too. We went to Amsterdam in 2010 and talked to some people there about stuff, because we were like, doing a thing, and we're talking about weed, and you would see like coke, like paraphernalia for sale at different spots. And I was talking to one of like the bartenders there. I was like, so what's up with drugs here? It's like, well, basically there's a lot that's decriminalized here. Heroin and like all the hard drugs are all basically decriminalized. Right. And even marijuana is not legal. It's just decriminalized and tolerated.
Right.
But we have programs to deal with it, and people deal with stuff, and it's not as bad as it seems,
but they really focused on helping people that were addicted,
but they focused on it, and they were helping people, and they have universal healthcare, so people can go to the doctor for whatever and like get help, like get medical help and mental help for free. And they tried to do that in Portland, and I was like, all right, I'm all for that, because I mean, it's silly to go to jail for. If you got a bunch of meth on you, you go to jail. What are they really doing for you? They're going to send you to jail. You're going to fucking freak out and then come back and then just.
Well, now you're in a system, and it's a whole cycle.
Yeah, and it's a whole cycle. Yeah. And so they had proposed that they were going to decriminalize all drugs and then fund rehab centers and try to send, instead of like arresting someone, they're going to send you to rehab. But they actually didn't follow through on most of that. It seemed like, and now it's like,
so now it's just like an open air drug market.
Yeah, and then the whole defund the police thing came through, and when I first moved there, it was a trip, because here in Ventura, I see cops all the time, every fucking where, all the time.
They're everywhere.
When I first moved to Portland, I think I went like 4 or 5 weeks, and I didn't see one cop.
Really?
That was a trip. I remember calling back home. I was like, dude, there's no cops up here. And like, what? I was like, I literally never see a cop. And even today, I rarely see police, and you hear them sometimes. Yeah. But it's rare to see cops around. And then the whole like defund the police came through. I was like, that's probably not a good idea. And then it just got worse. And then they decriminalized all these drugs. And now you've got people shooting up at the bus stop. You've got people like smoking crack in our bathrooms, and can't call the police because they're not going to do anything.
I'm not going to say what, but
I work at a grocery store,
reputable grocery store that everyone knows. Yeah, it rhymes with the hose.
Yeah,
but yeah, it is a fucking thing up there, right? Like,
yeah, and it's bad, and like you can't. There's nobody to call really, because you call the police and like, well, what do you want me to do? It's like I can shoo them away, but that's about it. And I've got other shit to deal with, so we're understaffed and fucking defunded for whatever reason, and then so we're not coming out there. Okay, all right, so we have to just like deal with shit all the time,
yeah. And but do you see the state of the city getting like more broken as you're up there?
Oh yeah, 100%. I mean, most of it is not necessarily from the decriminalization of drugs. It's from housing. About 2012 or 13. Overnight, all the landlords got together and like, oh, hey, we need to double rent, right? Yeah, let's double rent.
Oh wow!
So people that were paying like $425 for a 1-bedroom apartment, or because that's what I paid when I first moved. It was like $425 for a 1-bedroom. Everywhere overnight, like, oh, hey, so next month rent is $900.
Damn!
And people are like, what the fuck? I can't afford that. Like,
they could actually legally raise it that much
for a while. Yeah, you could do whatever you wanted. It was a wild
there was
west.
No rent cap.
There was no rent cap. There was no control. There was no nothing.
Damn.
So overnight, everybody was like, "Hey, next month rent's $1,900." And I go, "Whoa, wait a second." There was a guy like 2 or 3 buildings down. It was like a 4-plex. And we hung out a couple times, and he was like, "Oh yeah," it's like, "What do you pay for this place? This is a cool 2-bedroom. Maybe I'll move in this building if I get the chance." And he's like, yeah, it's like $725 or $730 or whatever for like a nice 2-bedroom fireplace, like a big dining room, fucking nice
which
balcony.
Is wild. Those are wild numbers for Southern California, by the way.
Yeah.
It's like you can't get a fucking half a fucking shack for $750.
Yeah, right. Yeah. So like this was 2010
right
or 11 or something like that. And it's a huge apartment he's got, 2 bedrooms, fucking, it's just great.
Yeah.
And then one day he came to me and was like, hey man, what's your landlord doing? Like, what are you talking about? I was like, my landlord just came to me and said my rent is fucking $1,400 now. I was like, whoa, wait, what? He's like, I gotta get a roommate. He's like, what the fuck is happening? I was like,
that's wild. They were able to double it like that.
Yeah,
like,
just overnight. The place right next to us is the same. We live in a house.
Right.
That's 2 stories and it's separated into 2 apartments.
Right.
So downstairs is its own separate unit and upstairs our own separate unit. And the house next door to us is the same exact thing. And they came to us too. And they go, dude, what's your fucking landlord doing? Because this guy now wants $1,950 for this place.
Damn.
I'm like, whoa, that's a shithole of a house too. Like your house needs real work.
Yeah.
And he's like, yeah, I don't know. I was like, fortunately we got lucky. My landlord's kind of like this old hippie chick and she kept rent real low for a long time.
That's amazing.
Like when we moved in, it was like $785 or something.
Really?
And I think even still now we only pay $1,190 for
the fact that you don't know the exact amount is terrifying.
Yeah.
By the way, like that shows that it's that cheap.
Yeah.
You know what I mean,
it was so cheap.
Yeah. Even though that like $1,100, is that what you said?
Yeah, $1,190,
$1,200.
Yeah,
it's insane
for a real
your apartment's
nice.
Not terrible either.
No, it's nice.
Yeah.
It's a real nice spot. Like everybody that comes over is like, God damn, what's if you move out, let me know.
Yeah, well, you know they're going to charge double as soon.
Oh yeah, our landlord just turned it over to a property management company,
shit.
So we're probably $400 or $500 below market rate right now. So they're going to bring it up to that as soon as
they're going to hit you with the percentages every year.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly when, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, homelessness was crazy because everybody got kicked out of the house because they can't pay $900.
Yeah.
Those people are living on Social Security or making minimum wage, which was super low at the time. Like they couldn't fucking pay $900 for rent.
Yeah.
So then Portland finally stepped in and they're like, well, hey, look, if you own more than one property, you can't raise the rent more than 10% a year.
Yeah. That's about what it is.
Yeah.
Here.
And landlords are doing this fucked up no clause eviction. So they go, hey, look, you didn't do anything wrong, but I'm kicking you out. You got 30 days. Done.
Damn.
And that was it. And you couldn't fight it. There was nothing you could do.
Wow.
So that they can kick you out, change the carpet, and then double the rent.
Holy shit, man. Yeah.
And that happened everywhere.
Right.
And then finally they'll go, hey, look, if you own more than one apartment, you can't raise it more than one building or whatever, rental unit. Maybe it's rental units. You can't go more than 10% a year, and you can't do a no clause eviction unless you pay them $4,500 because that's what it costs to move.
Sure.
So that put the brakes on that for
so it kind of slowed it down.
But
what you have is a massive amount of people that were fucking displaced.
Yeah, they were already displaced.
Because the thing is like most Americans are a couple paychecks away from being homeless.
It's true though.
And I live most of my life like that.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like
yeah,
and that's the fucking thing that you don't realize is that like literally most of us are a few paychecks away from being straight up fucking homeless.
Yeah, it's
like if you have 6 months of bills and rent in your account, you're killing it.
Yeah.
You're fucking killing it.
Yeah.
You know, and most of us don't. You know what I mean? Like,
we
so when you displace a massive amount of people, what else is going to happen?
Yeah. What do they do? They live in trailers, they live in tents, and then you decriminalize all the drugs. Like, oh, well, fuck it then. Like, what am I going to do?
Right.
Like, I live in a fucking tent now.
Right.
So yeah, I'm going to go get high and I'm going to go shit on your lawn.
Right.
And that's where it's gone. Like Portland's gotten really bad. Like break-ins have gotten bad, and like the homeless population exploded up there.
Wow.
And everywhere you go, there's tent cities everywhere. Like
and do you feel like a lot of the tents they're not people from somewhere else? They're people that have been literally displaced.
Yeah.
Like those people?
There's definitely people from out of town. For sure.
Yeah.
But
because there's a lot of amenities.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
They can get away with fucking murder up there.
Yeah. There's like, because I mean, California, a lot of places.
It has that San Francisco vibe where it's like, if you're going to be homeless in Portland.
Yeah, totally.
San Francisco. You know?
Yeah. Well, I mean, places like Santa Barbara and maybe even Ventura had like no loitering laws.
Right.
So if you hung out at a place for more than 10 minutes, people kicking you out.
Boot you out.
So you couldn't like sleep on the street anywhere. You couldn't like fucking post up and like try to camp anywhere. They would just kick you out. And I know at one time, the county of Santa Barbara gathered all their homeless people and put them on a bus and sent them to Portland.
Shipped them out.
Yeah, there's like go somewhere else. Portland will have you. They got programs. They got fucking.
They're ready for it.
Yeah, go ahead.
Good luck in the winter.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which because it's most people don't, the Portland idea, besides in this last couple of years, the idea of Portland has changed.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But like when me and you were thinking about moving it to that area, it was like, dude, it's cheap.
It's so cheap.
Bands are incredible. There's a fucking amazing scene of built-in fucking shit. And then you get through the winter.
Yeah.
And you're like, holy shit.
Dude. I do believe the very first time you came to visit, it was February or something, and I wasn't prepared for it either. Because this is my first winter here. And we showed up, it was like, oh, so the train tracks that were the max that went to town, that's frozen, so we can't go through there. And the buses have all stopped because the roads are iced over.
Right.
I guess we're gonna hang out in my apartment all weekend.
No, I think we literally missed our flight because we could not get to the airport.
Yeah, you couldn't even get there.
God, it was 19 degrees, which is, and then with like a 30-mile-an-hour wind chill was like -5. You know what I mean? I was like, this is fucking brutal. Yeah. And then you guys have that weather a good portion of the year, right?
It's not, you get used to it.
Well, it got like, didn't it get to like 115
last year? It was 116. It was
holy
crazy.
Shit.
Oh man,
I saw pictures of like the siding melting off houses.
Yeah, like, a lot of people died that year too, man.
Did they really?
People in like 4 or 5-story buildings that are all brick,
no AC whatsoever.
They're poor. They can't afford AC, so they don't know what to do.
Well, you didn't even have it built in. Most
you didn't have it built in, and so a lot of people died. That was a fucked up year,
dude. 115 in Portland is nuts.
That's rough. Yeah, and it's really stupid. It snows there often enough that the town should be ready for it, but they never are. Right. And I swear to God, we get an inch of snow and like everything shut down. Buses don't run.
We've only got 2 plows for the whole city,
so like we'll plow the freeways and some of the major roads. But if you're like, because if we're in a neighborhood. Right. And they don't plow our streets. They plow the main streets. Right. But then they create this fucking huge berm.
Walls.
Yeah. I'm like, so I'm walled into my neighborhood. I can't. What the fuck, Portland?
Like you can't even get through your cross street.
How can you do this? Like it's fucking a bunch of stoners running this town. Like, oh man, we only need 6 plows. That's cool. Like it's a small town.
It's cool, dude.
They'll be all right. People want to stay home anyway, right?
Yeah. It's weird, man. It's a weird world. I mean, also like the grass is greener everywhere.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Portland has fucking incredible options.
Portland is still an amazing town. Right. I still love it. I mean, if it wasn't so amazing, I would have bailed a long time ago.
Yeah, 100%.
The music scene is still fucking killer.
Right.
If you're vegan or vegetarian, it's beyond easy to live that lifestyle.
100%. Yeah.
It used to be a lot cooler to be a poor punk rocker there because you could. I mean, I remember Alberta Street had like the circus punks. I was like, circus punks, and like all these houses there had like fucking jugglers and unicyclers and fucking the March 4th marching band was down there, and it was just like circus punks. All right, that's a new thing for me. But it was the thing, and they could all live in these great big like cool Victorian houses for cheap, and it was awesome. Yeah. And slowly they all got pushed out too, just because rent got crazy.
Yeah. Well, I've said a million times, punks are the best gentrifiers on earth. Yeah. We've done this over and over again. Yeah. Every time a bad neighborhood becomes safe, it's because punk rockers moved in there. Yeah. And made it safe for weird white dudes with man buns. Yeah, right. To fucking move in after us.
Yeah, just coming after us, looking back.
So it's like a weird problem that we create. You know what I mean?
Bit, yeah.
Like it's fucking weird because you see like what happened in Eagle Rock and Silver Lake. Like all of my like punker and metal friends moved into Eagle Rock 20 years ago. Yeah. And made it actually safe to be there.
Yeah. Because then now,
once it's safe to be there, all these other fucking yuppies start following. And then now there's coffee shops and the fucking blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. And now there's coffee shops that won't serve you any cream or sugar. They're like, no, it's just coffee. And we pour this coffee, we do it this way, and that's it. And then
you can't get cream and sugar.
It's like, oh, you're supposed to taste the coffee. You're just supposed to enjoy the coffee and blah, blah, blah.
I have to drink black coffee.
I have to drink just some straight up black, fucking crazy ass fucking coffee.
That's insane.
And they will actually get mad if you ask for it. They will just like
offended. Yeah.
You need cream for that? Okay, that's
like, dude, how wild is Portlandia? Right? God. Is it? Yeah. Does it hit all the markers for things?
I couldn't get into Portlandia because it was too true.
It felt too close.
Like, it's fucking real. That's not funny because I fucking deal with that asshole every day. I've been into that bookstore and they're assholes. Yeah. It's fucking. I get it's funny to everybody else, but I deal with that shit.
It's like too traumatizing to watch.
I was like, oh my god, yeah,
dude, I watch it and laugh so fucking hard, man. And And then, I've been to Portland enough times to know like there is a legit section of things that are like that. You know?
I feel like none of Portlandia was actually exaggerated. It's real. They were just like
it's like a documentary.
Yeah, it's like one of those things where like you can't make this shit up, and they didn't. They just like we visited these places, and that's how these people are.
There really is some wild shit. It's but it also like I don't want to spin this whole fucking podcast shit on Portland. It's a wildly creative town. Yeah. Bands from that fucking area are incredible.
Art scene is incredible.
The art scene's amazing. There's there's always the give and take, right? Like you can't create an incredible, unique scene without having some fucking weirdo fucking psychos that aren't making any sense. You know what I mean? Like,
and the artists that are there
the good
are
with the bad.
Fucking weirdos. Like,
but they're also wildly talented. And pushing the limit of like what the fuck is going on in the world.
Oh, truly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like there's a lot of amazing shit going on.
Yeah.
In Portland.
It's cool. And it's like, it's a town. Yeah. I mean, like I said, if it wasn't still super entertaining and wild and fun,
right.
I would split.
You would have bailed. Yeah. No plans on bailing.
No, not well. I mean, now that I can't afford shit anymore, maybe.
Right. Yeah. But
I've been talking about it a little bit just because we were trying to like buy a house, and I was like, man, I can't afford that. That's the other thing too. Like, I don't know what the fuck happened or who said this is cool now, but now every house there is $1 million.
Well, every house here is like about the same. Right?
Yeah, everything's like $1 million everywhere you go. What the fuck? Like,
yeah, it's crazy. I mean, like I kind of talked about it on the last podcast, but I've never been looking forward to a recession more in my life.
God, Amy and I keep saying the same thing.
Dude, it's like the literal, like, please, I don't want to see people lose their houses. I don't want to see people lose their fucking livelihoods.
Yeah.
But motherfucker, it will be the only chance for me and my wife who make seriously decent money.
Yeah, you guys make good money
to fucking buy a house in this fucking town.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait for the opportunity.
It's crazy.
You know what I mean? Like, I just can't wait. Like, because we're starting to see housing prices stall out here. We're starting to see houses sit for longer. Whereas before it was like houses in this neighborhood are $850,000 all day. We can't, I'm not paying a $5,000 mortgage. You know what I mean? Like there's just no fucking way. I'm so wildly excited about this fucking recession.
I can't wait.
I'm like, dude, as long as my job is bulletproof, like, and I'm still making money, I can't fucking wait for this opportunity. It's going to be a real opportunity. And I read some bullshit fucking, Vice article today about like people bitching about millennials and you know Gen X people being stoked about this recession. They're crying. I was like, dude, this recession is the only opportunity we have at 40 years old to have the opportunity to maybe fucking get ahead. If you've played all your cards right, if you have saved your fucking shekels, if you've done any amount of fucking actual work in your life, this recession coming through might be the only opportunity for us to get ahead.
Yep, 100%.
You know, and like I can't fucking wait.
Yeah,
I can't wait.
Same here. Amy and I talk about that all the time. Like, I'm fucking waiting for this shit. As soon as it happens, I'm gonna fucking hit up some real estate agent. I've got a couple that.
Like, totally.
Like,
but it's so fucked that our generation has to wait for the
world to fall apart.
The world to fall apart to find an opportunity. Yeah, you know what I mean. It doesn't make any fucking sense.
Oh man, I know. I kicked myself for not being ready like a little bit sooner, because when the pandemic hit, shit hit the fan, and like everything was real cheap for like a hot minute, just because people were panicking and nobody would do. Like, oh my god, if I had money then, fuck. But that's fucked up. Like I gotta wait for like a pandemic or a recession or something really fucked up to happen to be able to afford a decent
Whereas
house.
our parents like were able to buy a house at fucking 20 years old off worth $50,000-$60,000, whatever the fuck it was. And then it's like, dude, we've had such a fucking hard road. Like,
man,
you know, and you took the same route I did. Like, I don't, you know, you have a career now, you know, I have a career now, but like we fucked off most of our 20s and rightfully so. We should. You're young, you're kids, you're idiots. Have fun. You know what I mean? Like that's one of the benefits to me doing what I do now. I got in late. And I got to live a life. I got to live a fucking cool life that a lot of people don't. You know?
And honestly, if we didn't do that, we probably we won't be able to do it in our later years. Cause I don't know, retirement.
No one does.
It's not going to be a thing for me.
Fuck
I don't think. Like,
me and you will be working till we're 70.
Yeah.
You know what I
mean?
Like,
work till we fucking die. Yeah.
But there's no, like, I put off buying a house 10 years ago. And in retrospect, I should have fucking done it, but we weren't ready. You know, like we weren't.
Same here. I talk about that, and there's like some opportunities that we could have taken. I was like, we should have taken that opportunity.
Yeah,
this
we
one,
should have, would have, could have.
Super unprepared, and who knows where
we would have lost it anyway.
Yeah, we probably would have. Yeah, it's like Jesus Christ. What would have happened if we lost the house? Fuck.
But like I said, I'm so stoked about this recession. I can't wait for it to fucking hit.
Oh my god, I can't wait. Oh god.
Because first of all, people are always going to need groceries.
Always.
Not going to affect you.
Yeah.
The work I do, it's always going to be necessary.
Yeah.
I'm hoping I'm recession proof. My wife's a teacher. Let's fucking go, dude.
Yeah.
Let's watch this shit drop out, and we fucking finally get ahead.
Finally,
40
come up
and 40 fucking 2 years old, dude.
Jesus Christ.
So cheers to that.
Yeah.
Cheers to me and you getting up for once.
Yeah. We'll be 50 before we can buy a fucking house. Like,
100%,
Jesus Christ. All right, at 50, I'm almost dead.
Yep.
Oh god, I can
only another 30 more years. I gotta work till I'm 80 to pay this fucking house.
Totally. Yeah, I only have to work till I'm fucking 75. That's cool.
Yeah. Well, I love you, brother. Thanks so much for coming on the podcast.
Of course, it's the best.
You're my favorite human on earth.
Oh man, I love you so much, Craig.
All right, brother.
Yeah. All right.
Let's get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
All right. Bye.
Bye.